Hey! You ready to finish the complete history of all the Robins? No? Click off this video then. The hell are you doing here? This is actually part 4 of a 4-part series. Parts 1 through 3 can be found here on the channel and in the links in the description. Alright. Roll the intro!
What do you mean we still don't have an intro? Okay, yes, I get it, I know. Jeez. So now let's dive into the most infamous of the bunch. Damian Wayne. Alright, so there's this story called Son of the Demon where Batman and Talia al Ghul have a kid, but it dies. So like 20 years later, this crazy guy named Grant Morrison decides to retcon it and say the kid actually survived and was raised in an artificial womb. And also implies that maybe Batman wasn't fully conscious during the child's conception.
Oh, you're right. If I remember correctly, I put a little something in your beverage.
Right! This kid's name was Damian, and when he was like 10, Talia kind of just left him on Bruce's doorstep like, boop, this is yours. So, Damian, being raised by a league of ninja assassins known as the League of Assassins, sees Tim Drake, who is currently Robin at this time, and deems it best to kick Tim's ass for his father's attention. As you do. Needless to say, Tim and Damian don't get along. So in case you weren't sure if Damian was an asshole quite yet, he then proceeds to make a makeshift Robin costume out of Jason Todd's old one, and begins murdering criminals, which doesn't sit well with Bruce considering that
Batman does not kill.
regardless of what Tim Burton or Zack Snyder might tell you. Damian then helps stop his mom's plan to use an army of man-bats to wreak havoc.
You know what? Forget it. Keith said enough of me as it is.
So in a story called Final Crisis written by the same crazy guy from earlier, Batman decides to take a page out of Jason Todd's book and die, but not really. He was hit with Darkseid's Omega Sanction like I mentioned in my Tim Drake part. Batman's dead body is actually that of a clone. The real Batman was actually sent on a journey throughout time, where he created the Legend of the Bat. Bruce made it to the end of time, gaining omniscience and creating a time sphere to return to his own time. However, he was fused with the hyper adapter and tons of Omega radiation. So the Justice League induced clinical death on him in order to save him. No, I don't know what you thought this was. No, I'm done.
Explain to me the hyperadapt. What is that? What does that mean? What is that? The script doesn't make any sense.
Why do I have to explain it to you, bro?
Because it doesn't make sense.
Just read.
What's a hyperadapter? What is Omega
You
radiation?
can read it, so just read it.
No. You're gonna explain what does that mean? What does that mean? What is? No. Look at me. What is that?
Just,
what is that?
bro, just read, bro.
No.
All right, fine, I'll do it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Just don't make me come back here.
Okay, just leave. God. Anyway, in Bruce's absence, Dick Grayson, the first Robin, decides to become the new Batman, for various reasons, making Damian his new Robin. Tim Drake was not a fan. More about that in the Tim Drake video linked below. Bruce would soon come back from his needlessly complicated time-hopping adventures, eventually reclaiming the mantle of Batman, allowing Dick to return to being Nightwing. Leaving Bruce to deal with Damian as his Robin now, teaching his son important lessons like killing is wrong, and being an entitled brat makes fans hate you. Damian would later go on to co-star in the greatest comic ever put to print. This is not an opinion. This is an irrefutable fact and we can fight about it. As soon as I hurt Bendis for tampering with my son. Either way, Damian is still Robin to this day. He's even gone as far as to form a couple of his own versions of the Teen Titans. And for now, all we can do is wait and see what the future holds for the son of Batman.